need to stop kissing your children's mouth. You know, like, you get a lot of weird reactions.
About the time when they went into Santa's, spoiler.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Archive.
How's it going, everybody?
Good.
The Archive 28. Today we got Roam Zoetta. Thank you guys for coming. This has been a incredibly long journey for me to get you guys on. I think I told Jeremy about this, like episode 7 that we had.
Yeah.
And yeah, so here we are.
Well, we're happy to be here.
Yeah, no,
You
yeah,
can't
I'm
start
stoked.
with the best. You have to leave.
Yeah, that's right. We had to earn our way up.
When are they going to be
Right.
good?
Yeah.
We had to earn our time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you guys for being here. For real.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So let's just go into the early days. Formed in, was it late 2017?
Yeah. So me and Landon are the only one in the group that have known each other for a long time. I'm Camden. And yeah, we were friends in high school, and after college, we decided to just move to Nashville together for basically to find people to start a band with. Because we were like, we just want to be in a bigger city where we can find people. So we both moved here together at the end of 2016. And it was like during 2017 when we found like people for our initial lineup, which was all through Craigslist too.
Yeah.
We didn't know anybody when we moved here.
Yeah, that's how we met Shane and Jeremy.
I found them through Craigslist.
Yeah. And our original singer Farron too. Like
Yeah.
all 3 of the others were all through Craigslist.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
It works sometimes.
Yeah.
And no one died, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got registered, guys.
Stop.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of like crazy tryouts or anything?
Yeah, we had a few crazy tryouts, but I don't know if you want to get into the details of it because I have a really bad memory.
It wasn't like, we didn't have like, a lot of crazy. We probably met in person with like 6 or 7 people before we met anyone that stuck. Our original singer Farron was probably she was the first one we met that stayed long term, but nothing crazy, just we met with like 6 or 7. I talked with like at least a dozen online, just stuff, and things just either didn't work out or they just stopped messaging for whatever reason.
Yeah, it turns out
Typical.
people are weird on
Oh yeah,
They ghosted
plenty
you.
of ghosting.
Yeah.
happened,
Oh, yeah.
for
We've had
sure.
we had one guy ghost us, and then like he ghosted us and then recontacted us and then
A year
ghosted us.
later.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the craziest story. Yeah, right after we moved here, we talked to a guy, met with him once, then he ghosted us. Then a year later, we were still looking for a drummer. He messaged us again, and we were like, okay, yeah, we'll give him another shot. We met again. He ghosted us again. And then we like...
Tag him.
Yeah. I like
Famous
ran into him in the online worlds for some reason like a few months ago. He was like commented on something or like found our band online.
Again.
And then I messaged him personally saying, hey, this is Camden. We met a couple times a few years ago. Like, this is what the band became. He's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
We just like,
need a drummer?
yeah. He's like,
I
not
never even
now,
heard the guy
but...
drum, but I'm sure he's not as good as Shane. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get locked out.
Yeah,
That's the way it goes. There's always something better.
it's true.
Yeah, so it took a little bit at first. Like, it was about a full year after me and Landon moved here before we had, like, we had met Shane about a year later. And we had our first show in December of 2017. And then...
At the Cobra. How was that?
Yeah, it was at the Cobra.
Nice.
And it was we still didn't know anybody at that point. So I think we legitimately had a photographer that we hired to come, and then one other person came for us.
Nice.
And that was my first experience with like learning how it is like getting people to come to your shows. Because at first I was like, I had never neither of us had, like, this is me and Landon's first band ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
First like real band. I've
Yeah.
had some. I'm from a town in Mississippi where music isn't really like hugely celebrated or practiced. So yeah, this is the first like
Still not
real
practiced
band.
here.
Yeah, right.
And I think, Shane, this is your first band, right?
I've had a couple in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
I couldn't remember.
been a long time since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shane's been in a band. Jeremy's been in a band.
Quite a few
This
bands.
is me, Landon, and our original singer and our current singer's first band.
Yes.
So
I
a lot
have-
of first timers.
I have a solo project,
Right.
so I'm not new
Yeah.
to the whole booking shows, playing shows thing, but this is
Mm-hmm.
my first full band, my first time working with other musicians in a project that's not entirely my own, so it's really cool.
Is it like a big difference or?
There is a big difference. I have to listen to this one for a lot of creative input, whereas with my personal project,
Yeah.
it's just me. And it's a different energy because it's a completely different genre of music, too. But it's so much fun.
Did you guys know early on that you wanted like the screams and then a female lead vocalist or?
No.
We always kind of knew that like
Well, yeah.
we wanted to have like a mix of like screaming and singing, so
Uh-huh.
we were looking for
We
a
were-
singer because neither Camden nor I are like great at singing, but we knew Camden was gonna scream, so we were always looking for that combination of singing and screaming,
Yeah.
which isn't like special or unique or anything. It's just something that we gravitate towards
Right.
Yeah.
through bands that we used to listen to. And we just liked that sound. And then when Farron joined the band, we were like, well, it's a definite plus that she's a girl because people just, I don't know, like female singers sort of make your band stand out.
Right.
Although nowadays, like, it seems like it's
I know.
not even
I've met a
as
lot
big
of
of a deal
friends
anymore.
now.
Like, I feel like
yeah, it's a lot more prominent
female
now.
front
Which is
women,
good
front
for
people
sure.
are so much more common
Like it's
now.
becoming more common.
Equality, baby.
Yeah.
2020.
It's great.
Yeah.
I like hearing, female voices too.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
But
It's definitely not.
it definitely
now.
sets you apart as a band now,
Mhm.
in
it's
a way.
true. It sets us apart. I think a lot of people really enjoy still watching the dynamic of people on stage.
Yeah.
And they really love watching females get into it. You
Yeah.
know, the more
For
excited
sure, yeah.
the female vocalist is, and the more that you can tell they're having a good time, then everyone's having a good time. But I love to say that female fronted is not a genre. So just
Right.
because we have
Right,
Farron
yeah.
and
It's like
myself,
Screamo.
And I will
Right.
say that, like, after Farron left the band, like, we had definitely had the choice of, like,
Mhm.
do we want to just, like, find another female, or do we want to, like, find a guy, or, like, does it matter, Like, if we found a guy that was so good we couldn't pass him up.
Right.
And we almost didn't even have to decide. Like it was
That's true,
literally
yeah.
a few days. Like I hadn't looked online or anything yet. I literally just the next show that I went to after Farron was done, had played her last show with us. Callie was there, and she had played at her house before, and we were friends. And I was just telling her and another friend, Jake Bernan.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah,
Our
we were just
mutual pal.
talking, and I was
How do you
like,
pronounce his last name?
"Huh,
Bernan.
Bernan."
Oh, man.
Shout out.
Rnane.
I've been getting
but you
it
don't
wrong.
pronounce
Wrong
it.
this whole time.
They were like some of the first people I told outside of the band. Yeah, so we're actually looking for another singer. And Callie was like, no way. She literally posted like the day before on Twitter, someone please start a post-hardcore band with me.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I had
That's
been
weird.
telling Jake at this particular house show, he was like, hey, how's it going with your solo project? And I said, it's going great, but like, I think I really want to join a band soon. And he's like, oh, no way. Like, what kind of band would you picture yourself in? And I said, look at this tweet I made yesterday. And it was literally what he said, like, someone in
That's
Nashville,
crazy.
please start a post-hardcore project with me, or like, let me join your post-hardcore project. And then we ran
Yeah,
into
the
Camden
next
the
day.
next day, and he was like, oh, well, like, you can give it a shot if you want.
Yeah.
The fucking universe.
It was crazy. Like, literally, because I was thinking it was going to be a whole big deal, like, trying to find, like, a singer that fit, like, regardless of male or female. Just, like,
Someone
finding
who's someone
that
was
worked
singing in a metal
out.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
We were
Literally,
definitely
like,
prepared for a long search. That's for
yeah.
sure.
yeah.
And like things were like kind of weird at the time too with like the band. Like we were kind of on hiatus for a
Oh,
short
yeah.
time for some reason.
So,
but I don't know if
yeah.
you want to get into that. But
No.
oh, wait, for me? Oh, yeah.
you were out of the
So-
picture at the time.
Yeah. I know why, but we don't have to.
I mean, it's not up to me.
Everyone's one.
I've been out of town a lot, like, the past year.
That
Yeah.
is the
Just
best way to put it.
doing some things. Just hang
Yeah.
I mean, you've been on
It
tour
does,
a lot.
yeah, part of it
Yeah.
was I spent a lot of time on tour the past year for,
Yeah.
I sell merch for Cities Burn.
Dude.
So,
Nice.
yeah, so that's definitely kind of made things a little bit slower progress with us. but for the foreseeable future, I'll be in town like for a good while at once. So we're trying to really focus on like doing stuff with us.
Yeah.
Like consecutively, basically.
Yeah,
sure.
We're trying to be a band, I guess.
Right,
you could say.
Yeah.
I mean, it is tough.
It's
We're trying to like
crazy
be together and write stuff.
Because we're all,
play
you know,
shows.
I mean, obviously you guys have a nice house and stuff. Like,
Thank
like
you. I
you
wouldn't
obviously,
say that.
yeah, like it's not like music isn't y'all's only job. Like,
Right, yeah.
obviously, it's,
Yeah.
and it's the same way
Unfortunately.
for
Yeah.
pretty much everybody.
That's what-
So
Right, yeah.
Same.
it's hard to find
Everyone
people who are
struggling
always.
musician.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then just getting everybody on the same page and
Yeah.
same schedule.
Like you
It's,
said, it was a
yeah.
miracle getting all of us
Yeah.
in the same room.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
wild,
didn't know
right?
this was gonna happen. Like all of us being able to just meet here
I'm
on the
happy.
same
That's
day.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. So, all right. And then, so your first single, February 2018.
It was a while
I'm
ago.
going to say it wrong.
Let me see it.
Oh, then
are you trying to say
Milan
Milan Rouge?
Milan Rouge.
You made me say
Yeah.
Like Milan.
Oh, okay. I thought I had an I in there.
Milan Rouge.
Is that French?
Yeah.
Milan? Is it Italian?
Milan?
Yeah, the name was actually created by our original bassist who was with us for like 2 months. So I can't actually remember what it meant.
Yeah.
But
Oh, no, I don't
Is
feel
it-
bad.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is it a play on Moulin Rouge?
I think it was just a coincidence. But everybody, it sounds like Moulin Rouge, the play.
It's just Milan.
I just know it was supposed to, I know the rouge part was supposed to be, it's like red in Italian or French.
French, I think?
Yeah, and that was kind of the theme of the song. It
We're
was
all
just
so
like
smart.
red feelings.
Yeah.
Red feelings.
Red feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's accurate. When you hear the song, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was the idea behind because the first bassist we had, he like started the song, and so he named it as well. But yeah, we put that
Yeah,
out.
it's
and
weird how that happens.
yeah.
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 cool.
I dig that one. That's got
That-
a
yeah, we-
sweet intro.
Oh, yeah.
That was the part that he came up with.
That was his
It
part?
the-
Okay.
Everything
Yeah.
else in the
Can't ask him
song,
about it.
basically, like
Can't
I
ask
wrote
him about
musically, and then we
Yeah,
just all
it
kind
formed
of
out of
build off
that.
that.
in.
Yeah.
Because
Cool.
that song came out, the first version of it, like the single that we released, was recorded, tracked, and mixed by me, pretty much.
Solid.
And,
Yeah, we were just doing it on our
yeah,
own
so
at that point.
I did have my friend Will Foley master it. He turned it into something that was better than it would have been normally. But that was also before Jeremy was in the band too.
Like
Oh,
right
yeah.
before,
So the bass,
'cause I joined, what,
So the bass
Yeah.
is
March,
not that great.
March.
Yeah.
On that demo.
Yeah, I think right when we put that song out is when we first started talking with Jeremy. Because his first show with us was in March of last year, and that came out in February. That was like when we really started playing shows,
It was
kind
like
of.
2 weeks after I joined.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that being.
You lucked out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, he's reliable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's been worth keeping ever since.
And then,
Aw.
so Take Off Your Man Suit. That was the first one that I heard, because that was the one, you had that on Spotify.
Yeah.
The other one
that-
wasn't on Spotify,
Exactly,
right?
yeah. The first
When
one
they-
we only
before
had on
the EP.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Really because we knew whenever we put it on the EP, we were going to get it re-recorded and mixed better and stuff.
Mhm.
So we were like, we'll just keep the one that we do or that we produced on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And we'll put the real version out later with the EP. But, yeah, Take Off Your Man Suit was the first thing that we had on, like, streaming services and such.
Yeah.
So,
Suit and Milan are two of my personal favorites to sing since I joined the band. So
Yeah.
I'm happy
Yeah, we
that I
like
get
it.
to tell people to check those out on Spotify. You don't hear my voice,
Right.
but when you hear us live,
Yeah.
those are my two favorites, and so I put everything into it. Because they're just
That
so
song
fun to
is,
sing.
I love the melodies in the Take Off Your Man Suit. Who had the idea for the Donnie Darko quote?
me.
It's Camden.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
all
this
Cam.
it actually started because the original, I don't know, the idea is just kind of about like time, like not wasting time like in your life just with whatever you want to do.
Dude,
And-
that's a cool. Because
Yeah.
I wrote down pursuing passion because time is limited, question
Yeah.
mark.
Exactly.
That's the
That's
song.
literally yeah, that's what the song's about. And so I've always liked Donnie Darko, and I was like, it'd be cool to, especially in like it was like our heaviest song on the
Yeah.
EP. So it was like a good like ominous like sample intro leading into that.
Yeah.
I just
Like
thought it would
a-
sound cool.
A phone recording or something of it when you were sending me all of the like first tracks when I joined the band.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the things that hooked me because I'm a huge Donnie Darko.
Oh,
Yeah, I also remember
makes
that
sense.
demo of that
You
song
look like you
really
are.
sucking. I'm sorry about that.
No, I love the lyrics too, and then I love like towards the end, it's like if you only had 28 days.
Yeah,
left.
that was a Donnie Darko reference
Yeah,
for sure.
it's tight.
So
We're gonna
what
get
is
sued
a
for that.
Nah.
so what is a man suit?
It's like a quote in the movie
Yeah.
when it's like when they're in the movie theater.
That's what we're all wearing.
Frank the Rabbit appears,
Ah.
and Donnie's like, "Why are you wearing that silly bunny suit?" And then the rabbit says, "Why are you wearing that stupid man suit?"
Okay.
Yeah. The man
Now we're not
suit
going to be
is
able
like
to hear
your
the
skin.
episode because you just said that.
We'll edit that in post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, if they haven't seen it by now.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, we're sorry.
I assumed that you didn't see it.
I don't know if I
when you
will.
said it,
No need
No,
to
it's
now.
actually a
Once-
good-
Yeah, you already know.
Jake Gyllenhaal, though, like you still have to
Yeah.
watch it.
I
because
didn't know if I would
Yeah.
love it, but Camden showed it to me, and I actually really do love it.
Solid.
It's one of my favorite
Didn't-
movies now.
Yeah, it's pretty
Upon a
wild.
Burning Body, do something with that too.
There's been a lot of
yeah.
bands that have
Yeah.
used samples from
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, we're not special.
Yeah,
No.
we're not that special.
Not even a little bit.
And then, okay, so We Live in Contrast came out in April
Yeah.
this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You were at a release show.
I was, yeah,
That's
it
when I
was-
first met
I
you.
was
Yeah.
there too. That's
Yeah.
when I first met most of these guys, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
I
yeah.
came to the show, well, because Camden and I had talked about me potentially trying out for the band in March.
It was, yeah,
In
before the
March,
show.
Before the
'cause
EP release.
Yeah.
I guess to preface that, we knew at the time of the show that Farron was going to be leaving the band.
Yeah, she had told us a few weeks
Yeah, 'cause
before
it was,
release
it was
show.
a couple weeks.
Yeah,
later
yeah.
you announced it, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just because she loved like doing it and everything. It was just like with her other like
Schedule, yeah.
yes, her schedule and other passions. It like just wasn't like the biggest thing in her life that she had enough like time and passion to put towards anymore. So she was just like, at the time, it was all she was like, oh, I feel like bad bringing this up, but I think it might be best if I step down from the band. We were like, it's totally cool. Like,
Yeah. It's better that than
Yeah, we don't
going on and not showing up.
Yeah,
It was never,
yeah.
It was
It's
never
like-
anything bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Still-
no,
we're
it was
all
totally
still cool.
cool.
with
Right.
Farron.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and she and I are really good friends now too. A lot of people ask me if it's
Yeah.
weird
You got that
because
beef?
I technically like took her spot, but we're all really good friends and we're all really amicable
for sure.
people. So Farron and I have no beef whatsoever. In fact, she's been super helpful because she wrote a lot of
Yeah.
what I'm now singing, and so she's been great about helping me with technique, helping me do it in a healthy way. So there's like no beef whatsoever. It's actually
that's
really
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our next song that we're about to record a single. It's a song that Farron. It was the last one that Farron helped write when she was still with us, and that
Does it sound like
R.I.P.
she died?
yeah.
God bless.
But she helped write that song. But for the single recording, Callie's going to be singing it, and we're going to have Farron do a guest spot.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Like
a
there's a
cool
bridge in the
descant.
yeah.
That's
So
cool.
it's like they're
Okay.
both gonna be a part of this single, like that shows like Callie's part in our band now, while also still having since Farron helped write it,
Right.
she's gonna be like singing a bridge in there as
That's
well.
cool.
Yeah,
It's like a
that's-
transitional.
It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah, the transitional song.
Character
Exactly.
development.
Right.
Yeah, which it might
Character
seem kind of
development.
weird, like not just going with a song that Callie wrote the everything to,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's just we all feel strongly about the song, so we're just gonna release
Yeah.
it.
It's never
so.
quiet.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But,
But yeah, I
Um,
was at the EP show. It was a great show.
yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe, a little side note, I can't believe that I've been doing acro for so long and still suck. Like to think of, because that's how I met Jeremy.
Yeah,
I've shouted him out a
I meant
couple
to bring
times.
up. I
Yeah.
knew it was Acro related, but I forget the exact circumstances,
Yeah.
like how you two
Well,
met.
you came to the Ninja Gym first.
Mhm, yeah, I went to
and then
Ninja
Briggs
first.
told him that I played in a band. Did he show you us actually?
No, he didn't.
before?
He didn't
Okay.
show you. Just said that you played metal.
And then he decided
Yeah.
he decided to come to an
Do
acro
acro.
class, and then we just
So it's
kind
probably
of
like March or
just talked about music a lot.
Yeah.
Good friends.
So where do y'all train at?
Yeah.
Shameless
the gym?
plug.
It's about to. Have they moved yet?
No, it hasn't opened back up yet, but it's
Damn.
yeah, hopefully in the next 2 weeks.
Wait, where are they
It's
opening?
just a new.
Adventure Fitness. They just moved like a couple
Yeah.
blocks down.
Oh, they moved
Shout
again.
out to Adventure
Well, they're
Fitness.
they're going to like their like new permanent space. So
Okay.
this space was kind of like a transition space.
Renting.
I see.
A liminal
That works.
space.
I have
Yeah.
shouted out Jeremy a couple times though. Usually just acro related, but
Acro, yeah.
Yeah.
like my acro teacher.
I mean, yeah, he's a real like,
Jeremy
circus
Guyton.
animal. Or,
Yeah.
Once my foot heals,
Hey.
you're gonna be my acro
Hey,
teacher too.
come on.
Heck yeah.
Solid.
He's ridiculous. I'll put a clip in too.
Yeah.
You should send me that.
The handstand.
Yeah, you
thing.
should send me that. What you
Alright.
just showed me. I'll
Yeah.
throw it in just so people can see.
It's never seen why the trouble with committing is held so closely. Can anyone say for the love and not again? I know it's wrong to spend.
That's
Jeremy
really,
Lewis.
honestly, like, that's really the whole goal behind our band is just to recruit people for Jeremy's acting.
That's a first.
Yeah.
That's a first.
Yeah.
That's great.
AcroYoga.
Side hustle.
Just start incorporating
It's like
in
the most
show.
inefficient way we could think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play this metal band in Nashville so
Yeah.
you can get people to.
That
More
could be a cool
AcroYoga.
music video, though.
You should do a
I
float of
like
your
the
own.
way you
Make that-
think.
That is a
Make
great
that metal.
idea, yeah.
Do
Maybe
it,
like Acro fails.
or just make a float
Like a
of
real brutal
I
song.
just think doing a
You're-
float of
Yeah.
your own.
That's
Actually
like
could do
slow mo.
something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We
Ooh.
do
That's a good
want to do
idea.
a music
That's a
video
good
Do we
at
have
some
a video
point.
for Milan?
Oh, yeah.
No.
No, Ashley could do a really cool video for Milan.
Yeah.
It'd fit the vibe.
There you go. Or the
Yeah.
new song.
Or the new song.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
I'm about it.
Or whichever,
I would not
whatever.
let
So,
that go.
are you thinking of doing a music video for the new song or?
Yes.
Yes, we're
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Used to be.
Yeah.
I know. We haven't like planned out a lot of stuff yet because it's not gonna be. We're not gonna be doing it till like we're gonna track it pretty soon. But as far as like plans for video and stuff, it'll be like in the coming year
Yeah.
and stuff. But I don't know. It's gonna be. It's probably gonna be a standalone single. Like we'll always have the option to put it onto the next project
Right.
afterwards, but it's gonna be the only thing for a good long while at least. So I think we definitely we would like to make a video and do everything proper for it.
Yeah.
Make it as big as we can. Yeah.
Maybe we'll juice it and make it last for as long as possible by like releasing the video, like, you know,
Yeah.
a few weeks after. Or something.
Well, I always say
Like
like,
a year
it
after.
might be.
Yeah, like a
That's
year
more
ago.
hard.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Trying to,
Months
but
later.
it's new to everybody who hasn't heard it, which is like 99.9% of the population.
It's an
So.
excuse.
Oh yeah, for
Probably
sure.
more than that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely more than.
About 100%. Yeah. About 100%.
Just shy of 100.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like when hand sanitizer kills 99.9%.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
a
right.
millionth of
Yeah.
1% of
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
in the
They
world
get
know
through the
about
cracks
this.
and have
A billion,
actually heard
really.
you.
I did want to go in to you guys mixing and producing and then mastering and then album artwork for the EP.
The EP.
That's a lot to go, but
Oh,
just
yeah.
you guys working on it.
Yeah.
I think
No
that
saying
experience.
any of this.
We basically we had a friend of Jeremy's actually.
Somebody I used to play in a band with.
Yeah.
Somebody that I used to know. You can
Yeah.
Who you track guitars and bass with?
Yeah, he tracked
Tracked
Guitars.
He
everything.
tracked
Bass.
everything except for the drums.
Except for the drums.
Oh yeah, yeah. A
Drums.
friend of
Yeah.
Shane's tracked the drums actually.
Yeah.
Forgot about
Shout
that.
out Tony.
Yeah.
Got the names.
Hey.
Nice.
Shout out Matt.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a pretty. It was a cool process because Matt hasn't done a lot of like produced like tracked full band projects.
Metal stuff.
Yeah.
Especially metal
Specifically,
stuff.
yeah.
Especially metal, yeah.
So it was kind of like all of us were learning, because this was like the first real like project of being a band, being tracked or produced by someone that like me and Camden have had.
Yeah.
I know Shane has like a long musical background, so he's probably has had a little more experience. And
Okay.
same for Jeremy. And I'm sure Callie's recording experience has been DIY too. So
Yeah.
like this is the first time we've had someone like actually like
Yeah,
take the
outside
reins
of us, dude.
on it
Yeah.
outside of us. So it was
So we
weird
did.
for us.
Yeah, we did kind of help him produce it because while he was like doing the mixing and stuff, because he's done most of the full bands that Matt has done has been like live projects, and he's done it kind of a different way stylistically too. So he like invited us on after he had like got some basic mixes done. He was like, "Come on into the studio and like help give me like." We helped guide him basically on like the type of sound we were going for, and just kind of helped him piece things together. So it was kind of a group effort. In the end of the mixing process was me and Landon would go over to the engineer Matt's house a lot and kind of work with him through a lot of the mixing. And we basically, I mean, all of us are kind of new. Us and Matt himself are relatively new to like the whole mastering process. So we kind of learned that together with him. So
It's like we were just talking about earlier, how it's an art form of its own.
Yeah, Landon has some experience for sure.
I mean,
Landon.
I've like, I'm college educated. I took a mixing and mastering class. Was in college, but I was also like pretty fucked up like during the whole time. So, like, I mean, it's not like I got the most out of that class that I could have.
Yeah.
I mastered the EP that we put out.
You did?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't remember if Matt had done some of it.
He didn't
or-
do anything to it. Wise, it was all me.
Okay,
And I
so
actually
Landon
personally
did.
think that I didn't do as great of a job as I could have done. And yeah, like, I mean, it's all in the past now, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
It's a learning experience.
It was all
Yeah.
we had to figure it out.
Like do the whole remaster
Yeah.
thing.
hey, I've actually thought about that last.
Oh, shit.
Like, we were trying to get some tracks from Matt actually, which we never ended up getting just because schedules
stuff.
didn't work out. But we were trying to get some tracks from the recordings from him so we could make like drum tracks and
Right.
stuff. But I was there talking with him. It was the first time we had seen him, or I had seen him for a while, and we were talking about like potentially like, you know, just remastering it or like putting it through that like automated mastering service. What is that
the
called again?
E-mastered or...
Yeah, just to see if it like comes out better, you know, because both of us were kind of talking about it, and we were like, you know, I really think it could have sounded better, but we got what we got because we were like basically like rushing at the last second to get it out
Yeah, I get
before
that,
EP
for
release.
sure.
Yeah. It's all about circumstances.
But
at the
you know,
time.
we're all beyond it now and better for it, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. Fine
I'm
with
satisfied with what we got. So.
Yeah, because it's like it's what we had to work with at the time.
Yeah,
and I mean,
Matt did an excellent job
Yeah.
for
In
you know.
true DIY fashion.
It was.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
It's cool. It's even an option.
Yeah, the mixes that we had from Matt, they sounded good. They sounded good. I kind of like took some liberties in the mastering and kind of like I feel like I kind of messed it up a little bit, but it's
I feel like you're being extremely hard on yourself.
I do.
That's how it is when you work on your own
it
music.
really is.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
like, I saw a reel the other day that was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
art, or it was basically like artists. They just like stare at their art until they hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so real about
Yeah,
the solo
that's
project.
We did our EP all on our own, and yeah, it's just terrible to listen to.
Yeah.
Just you can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Great
hopefully-
salesman.
I'm kidding.
Everybody go
Check
to
it out.
Trey for your next project.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate it.
Come to me.
If you don't hate it, he will.
He's gonna.
I will butcher your recordings.
Good.
I want to go into the live music video you guys had.
Oh yeah, that
Right, so
actually.
we did have a music
We
video.
literally didn't know that was gonna happen
Yeah.
until like a few days before.
Nice.
Yeah, because we had like a photographer planned out, or actually we did have to get another photographer last minute. But one of Farron's boyfriend was bringing like one of his friends to the show that's like a videographer, and he literally just said like a few days before, hey, if you all are okay with it, I'm gonna take some live footage of you all at the show.
Yeah,
and
that's
put it
Frank
with like,
O'Hara.
huh?
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, Frank O'Hara.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could probably put it to one of your tracks. We were like, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So we didn't even plan that out.
We didn't
Like,
even know what song it was going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Turned out amazing.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, no, it was really
for
good
sure.
for like on the spot. Like it was just him and then Farron's boyfriend Connor. He was running a second camera so they could have like a couple different angles to switch back and forth.
I was actually
between.
wondering about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering.
So yeah, we just conveniently got some video content there without even planning on it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Which was good because without that we wouldn't have any real video content still up to this point.
My mom loves that video.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the video. but My mom loves it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I did notice just your guys' pictures always look really solid.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I feel like you always.
do.
I know there's like a bunch of different photographers I've seen.
Yeah. No, that's
But
one
the
good
pictures always
thing.
look good.
There's a lot of
Thanks.
local photographers like in the scene.
Yeah.
that
Probably
are all
use
good
Jake
people.
Hernan.
Jake
Yeah.
The most, right?
My
We've-
buddy.
He's
Yeah.
taken pictures for us like
We love
twice
him.
or
Yeah,
3
Jake
times.
Mernan has done it a couple times. Madison Mitchell has taken a couple.
Oh, Maddie, yeah.
She's really
Our
great,
release
too.
show was Taylor Stouse.
Taylor, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love her. Yeah, so we just have a bunch
We have a
of
lot of
homies.
photo frames.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
all
awesome.
of our homies basically have a camera,
Yeah.
and it's great.
It's a good thing to
Yeah,
good
that
good
works
friends
out.
to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the beauty, actually, of being in a place like Nashville.
Yeah.
You're just surrounded by creatives, and so
And everybody's good.
and
It's like if
everybody's
they're
good.
creative,
It's
they're
like
good.
the cream of the
Right.
crop
Yeah.
here, you know.
Or if
they're
they're
all
not
our
good,
friends.
it's easy to weed them out.
They don't last too long because
Yeah.
just everybody here, I feel like everybody's incredibly talented at what they do.
Yeah.
And it's wild. Yeah.
And people
yeah.
care. Like you
Yeah.
can tell when somebody gives a shit about what they're
Right.
doing. And so all the photographer friends that at least I know and I know Camden knows, like everybody really cares about their passion, and you can see it in their artwork.
Yeah.
It's
dope.
so cool.
Yeah, they all look really good. That was just a big thing I noticed scrolling through. I was like, God damn, these are all good pictures.
Plus, we're not going to release a bad picture. Come on.
Come on, it's Instagram. You gotta show like
Yeah,
the
true.
best. You know?
Now I feel bad about myself.
No, honestly, the thing is, too, we're just.
Expectations.
I feel like we're bad about capturing just day-to-day moments or
Dude,
practices. So the only
I feel
things that
that,
end up
yeah.
going up are the real photographer
When
pictures.
somebody sends you something, you're like, ah.
Yeah,
I always
like,
think
kinda,
we should get some practice pics or like travel pics going to this show or
or
something.
like in
Well,
practice,
I
like
started
we're going to be
taking
practicing
Polaroids.
tonight.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we are.
Just don't
practicing tonight.
forget.
Right, yeah.
And
it just feels so weird.
Like you took the picture for this, don't let us forget because we need to get one.
Yeah.
'Cause we
Don't let us
always
forget.
we always forget to take a picture like with the
Yeah,
whoever
some
we're
group
interviewing.
picture.
Yeah.
The best thing about me is I love capturing videos of my friends doing like candid things, and so when we had our Threat Fest set, I got a really funny video of Camden riding on a cab.
Yeah.
Landon-
It's a guitar cab.
Landon took a picture of me like skating in quotes on the cab, and so I think something cool that I bring to the band, pat myself on the back for a second, is just like the excitement, because this is my first thing, and so I'm always excited about it. Just the excitement of, oh wait, this is a cute candid moment. We have to document this. Like,
Yeah.
everything is just exciting to me.
For sure. That's
That's true.
a great segue to go into Threat Fest 2019. It was your first show.
Our first band show, yeah.
Yeah.
Callie
yeah.
has been playing the past few years.
Yeah.
Threat Fest.
Oh, really?
As
This,
Bernsey.
yes,
Yep.
this was my third Threat Fest.
Wow.
Shout out to the boys in Idle Threat.
Mhm.
My babes, my friends, love them. Yeah, this was my third year. The previous 2 years, I played under my solo project called Bernsey. I'm not going to plug that.
Link will be in the
But we
description.
will.
all the
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram.
I'm literally wearing a Bernsey shirt right
Yeah,
now.
you are.
Landon's wearing a Bernsey shirt.
I know, that was, I didn't tell him to do that.
Handmade by Bernsey
Handmade
herself.
Bernsey shirts.
Yeah.
I don't have the budget for real shirts, and also it's just really cute, you
And
know.
they're cool.
You should
That's
charge
my-
like $300 for those.
Yeah.
Right? Dude, they're gonna be on eBay soon though, for like $200 a pop.
That's how it goes.
No. Like Threat
I'm
Fest,
definitely selling mine as soon as it.
150.
you should sell it and like in the caption in the description be like, yeah, used.
Heavily used
Bernsey
armpit
merch.
stains.
But Threat Fest was my first show with you guys, and it was very well received by our friends. It was honestly surprising. Like, I wasn't particularly happy with how I did, because I'm very hard on myself, just in
That's good.
any context. But we got glowing reviews from our friends and a lot of people who have seen my musical evolution in Nashville. they were like, whoa, like we didn't know what Callie in a band was gonna look like, but this makes sense. Like this particular band and this particular genre makes a lot of sense.
Was it fun having like, cause do you just play solo?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what was it like having 4 other people to have the energy from?
It was really fun. Aside from Mansuit, in which I do play guitar, not well, but I play guitar. Aside from Mansuit, it felt really fun to ditch the guitar for a little while and just be a true front woman, or just a front person. And I even tried to start our own pit for ourselves. So at Threatfest, just setting the scene a little bit, we weren't on a stage, per se. We were just kind of set up on the floor of this warehouse. Like on a little carpet, and so I had access to just jump into the audience and be as ridiculous as I wanted to. So I literally, during our last song, which is also another favorite of mine because you get to be really energetic, it's called Beauty. What's it actually
Beauty,
called?
He's a Beast.
Beauty, He's a Beast, yeah. It's a really fun song. So for that song, we ended Threatfest with that song. And I jumped into the crowd and just started pushing people while singing. And that was well received. It was really fun.
Mini trampoline.
Yeah. She bought a mini trampoline specifically for the last song of Threatfest.
That's legit.
Yeah, the trampoline itself had mixed reviews. A lot of our friends...
I approve.
Yeah, okay, good. I do too. A lot of our friends are a little bit pretentious about stage presence. And so some of them were like, it annoyed me that you didn't jump on beat. It's like, I'm sorry.
Everyone's a
I only
critic.
do so much. But it was a blast. Like if we could recreate that energy for every show, I think we'd be solid.
Yeah.
And disclaimer, I don't know in the video if you can see this, but I've got a boot on my foot. This is not trampoline related.
Damn.
But I'm in trampoline retirement for right now.
Just for now.
Well, it'd be a lot
I think
cooler
that's
if it was
genius.
trampoline.
Get a little trampoline, especially if you were up on like the top of a stage and there's not
30
people
feet of
to
air.
stage dive.
That would be
Wow.
so fun. Real quick though, shout
That would be
out.
terrifying.
I have a shout out to a band called Small Talks, who I love a lot, and I've opened for them as Burnsy, my solo project. Kaylee Spivey, the front woman for Small Talks, had a trampoline when they played Rocket Town, and that's how I got the inspiration.
Yeah.
And myself and people from the audience were brought on stage to jump on the trampoline with her, and that's kind of how I got the idea.
That's
so
really
I have
cool.
to credit, give credit where credit's due, but everybody at Threatfest was like, whoa.
Yeah. No, that's
I'm surprised Rocket Town will let you do that.
Yeah, you can't swear, but you can have trampoline.
Yeah, I can't beer.
Yeah.
On a trampoline.
Have some coffee though, you know.
Then go jump on the fucking trampoline.
That's what they should do is just serve hella coffee
They do
there.
have a coffee.
Well, not hella coffee. It has to be. Heavenly coffee.
Heavenly coffee. Yeah.
Having coffee, yeah.
No, we love Rocket Town. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, shout out Cody Bloom. Love you.
Yeah. Yeah. He's great. We had him on. And he
Yeah,
was
I listened to his episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's great. He he's like one of the few people really like working closely with a venue that like really cares about like all levels.
It blew my mind. Because I was
Yeah.
like, if I was you and I was in that position, I would only book my band.
Not only is he in like
24/7 Arky hours.
That's all it is.
It's like Celine Dion playing it for the same
We'll be here all week, yeah.
for 2 years. It's Archeons at Rocket Town forever.
Yeah, and then there wouldn't even be other bands. It would just be Archeon's like 3 sets. The local for this show is
I
Archeon.
better be really
Yeah.
fucking good at playing that set.
Good luck getting hired at Rocket Town now.
Yeah. Blew your chance.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog named Zoetta. Whose?
Yes. Whose?
Whose dog?
Whose dog? Our dog. So technically, Farron's dog. It was actually it was like around the time we played our first show. She adopted a little black lab and named her Zoetta Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were
Adorable.
struggling at finding a band name at the time.
Yeah, so it's like
It's so hard to
Oh
find
wait,
a name.
so the dog was named Zoetta before the band was
Yes,
named Zoetta?
actually.
what? I think
Yeah,
No, it was like
No.
so. Okay, it was like at the same time. Farron came up with the name Zoetta, and I'm pretty sure it was right before she adopted Zoetta the dog.
So we just call her Zoe. So.
Yeah, we call her Zoe. But it was it's kind of like at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think technically the band was first, but it was like basically the same time. It's like the band and the dog came into our lives and were named. Like in December 2013.
Where
band and
does
the
the
dog are
Roam
one.
part come in? I always wondered that.
It was just a random idea I had. I was like, I need to add something to this because I
Can't
don't know.
just be Zoetta. Although Zoetta would be cool, but I feel like it's like probably taken, just like Zoetta.
True.
Maybe so.
One of my friends asked me if you guys had named it Roam Zoetta after the Story So Far song Roam. Or like they have some kind of like song or lyric with Rome in the title.
I like the story so far, but
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that
Yeah.
that lyric.
It was off their self-pay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just
No,
tell people
I
this
just
is
thought it
made up
sounded
words.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think Archeons is really cool. It's like really like, it's just like Roam Zoetta. Like, I mean, all band names, like, sometimes they're just like inspired.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just completely arbitrary. Like, we just have to pick something.
thought it
Yeah, we literally just came up with a couple words that we thought sounded cool.
Yeah. I feel like Archeons is probably something that was like stumbled upon.
It
Well-
took a long time. Archeons is actually. Chris doesn't like when I say this. He's like, well, it actually means this, but the idea.
Your personal take on it.
No, because the fucking name came from Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Final Fantasy 15, like the summonings are called Archeons.
Okay.
I
And
only
so I
found
was
out
like,
a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Thanks to listening to the podcast, I heard you say that on another episode.
Yeah. So it was from that, and then I brought up, and we looked into it because we were gonna go heavily into the, not heavily, but we just enjoy like artificial intelligence and the universe and
We enjoy the universe, yeah.
yeah,
Me
just
too.
like creation
Yeah.
and pondering
I enjoy a very
life.
small portion of the universe.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So, and then Archeons also means, it's like this bacteria that survived through the harshest conditions to,
Hell yeah, that's my new spirit animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am an archetype.
But,
I am.
but
I
the
have a new
summoning's way
superpower.
cooler.
Oh, yeah.
To avoid
That's the
copyright.
one term that I hadn't heard because I've played a ton of Final Fantasies, but I actually own 15. I bought it a few months ago, but haven't started it yet because I'm scared of not having enough time after I start it. I need to know I'm gonna have like a few weeks or a month of time to get into it.
That game was announced in 2006.
I know, yeah, I remember.
I remember that too. For
It
some
was
reason, I've
called
never
Versus
played Final
13,
Fantasy.
and then they rebranded. And anyway, so that's why I have a tattoo of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
They're not very reliable.
Yeah. But yeah, it took
years.
It took 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
That was a huge part of my
I
life.
played 7, I think, and I was the only
Oh,
one.
dude. I didn't know you played it.
7's great.
I played
I played a
Pokemon.
lot.
That's an RPG, isn't it?
Dude, I love
Yeah.
Pokemon too. Did you get Sword and Shield?
What Pokemon?
No,
did you
none of us
play?
have Switch. Oh, wait,
Nope.
Jeremy has a Switch.
None of us have Switch, although our new roommate Twiggy, we were talking the other day, and we think it's a great idea the three of us go in together to buy a Switch.
Oh,
You better
yes.
get Smash.
We're
Yeah.
gonna get Smash.
Number one.
Yeah.
We're gonna
No,
get
no, no, no.
Smash.
If you're gonna get a Switch, you have to get Untitled Goose Game so that I can
Oh, yeah.
play.
Dude, that game, I sat there and watched people play it for like
So
an hour and a
fun.
half.
When I broke my foot. That's what this nonsense is. I broke my foot, and speaking of Jake Renan, again, we're gonna drop his name one more time.
Yeah.
Shout out.
He has, I know, shout out. He has a Nintendo Switch, and when I was recovering from foot surgery, all my friends wanted to like support and come hang, and so he brought his Switch, and all I wanted to do was just sit there on painkillers and play Untitled Goose
That sounds
Game.
awesome.
And it was
Yeah.
the best 3 hours of my life.
That game is so wild. I just think it's genius.
It is a genius game. Like, I'm actually upset I didn't create it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and all of the memes that have followed suit because of the game,
Yeah.
just incredible.
It's just,
Absolutely
yeah,
incredible.
I love those little indie games that blow up and become like pop culture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I feel like that's kind of what Minecraft started out as.
Yeah.
Like,
Fair.
it couldn't have been like it's not like a
Now it's
AAA
giant.
game.
Someone just
yeah.
open up
Yeah.
a beer.
Maybe.
Did I just hear someone try to quietly open up a beer?
Just low key.
There's
It's
no
just slower.
There's
It's
no
not
easy.
right.
Yeah, it's just
Okay, if there's
Last
ever
one.
this podcast released, you just need to like zoom in on him doing that. Just like you're
well,
just sitting
I
there
edit
just
the
like,
video. And I'm not gonna do that.
He'll do
Well,
that. He'll do that.
I think it's a great idea.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah. But I lost my train of thought.
I know, I completely.
We're there.
No.
Games, beer.
I wanted to
Important
talk
stuff.
about. I don't know if this is a thing still, but Fell Winter's Lie.
Oh yeah. So this stemmed from we actually were really limited in shows we could play the second half of last year because our original singer Farron developed a vocal node on her chords, like she was injured.
Yeah.
It was right
Shout
after
out to Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
I think about
Yeah.
that every time.
Yeah.
And all the sequels.
I have no.
Yeah. So she didn't play a show with us between June of last year till the end of December of last year.
That also slowed down our recording process a lot.
Yeah.
Like crunch time. At the
That's
end
why
of
we
it.
started recording our EP, We Live in Contrast, in July of last year. And we tracked all the instruments within like a week or two.
Yeah.
But because of Farron's vocal injury, vocals didn't end up getting recorded until I think it was like December or January.
Well, yeah, we
She's
were
a
starting in
badass
like
for being able to
November.
do it still.
I know, like it was in her injury, her vocal node was small enough to where she didn't need surgery or anything.
good.
Fortunately, she just had to have time and not really singing.
Yeah.
So, we played this one show in October of last year for an awesome band called Rig Time. They like tour around the country all the time, and we had played with them back in March of last year at Media Rerun in Murfreesboro. And so they were wanting to come back through Nashville, and I had messaged some bands like initially when they first talked to me about it, and I wasn't getting many hits, so I was like, maybe we could try playing a show without Farron, like, and maybe like we had some other like song demos that had never been fleshed out. I was like, I could just fill them out with screaming. We could be a little bit heavier, give a different name to it,
Right.
To basically be Roam Zoetta without singing.
Yeah.
And I came up. We struggled on a name.
Fell Winter's
And
Lie
it
is
ended up
based
being-
on Destiny. It's like
it's Destiny.
It's a shotgun from
It's a shotgun from Destiny.
1.
Yes.
That was like basically like meta or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
OP as fuck.
Yeah.
So like
That's
it was
cool.
yeah. For anyone who plays Destiny, it was like a gun you could only get through the Iron Banner.
Yeah.
And it was just like every time you got killed by a shotgun in Destiny, it was like Fell Winter's Lie. So
Yeah.
we were like, it's Shane.
Shane knows.
hated the name, yeah.
I love Destiny, but I was like, this is so fucking nerdy.
Yeah.
It is.
It really is cool
But it's
now.
cool.
Like,
It's cool because nobody knows. Normal
Nobody
people
else
don't
knew.
know what it's from.
yeah.
And then anybody who does, there's like type.
Yeah.
It's like Arctic.
Sick.
Yeah.
During the show, though,
Anybody who
Ken-
knows about that.
Ken was like, "Did we hear play Destiny?"
Nope.
All right, have a good night.
Which the
You
weird.
said that at the show?
I did. Because I know.
Nobody said
We're
it.
not the best at like on stage banter. We
No.
know.
Unfortunately, I don't help that either. It's like in my solo project, Burnsley, if anybody out there watching this or listening to this has ever seen me, I'm sorry. I'm like really awkward in
I'm
between
sorry.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
I
I
don't
get
help
that. It's
to the
tough.
stage
But yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
probably comes with playing a ton of shows and
That's true.
Yeah.
And just like I don't know.
developing your own.
And it's really weird too because like whenever you're a band at our stage, like you never like crowds are usually pretty small. Like you, a lot of times you know a lot of people
Yeah.
at the shows too.
Yeah.
So it's almost
just
like
a
what
room
do
of
you
your
say?
friends.
Like it's either it feels weird because you have like this idea of like a front man like addressing like a huge crowd.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
probably your inspiration,
Yeah.
but in reality you're
Right.
talking to like a room full of
But if you're like,
friends.
so I always think of like Avenged Sevenfold when he's like, "How we doing on this side?"
I always think of like
There's
the
no one over there.
for some reason I remember like my dad had the live this is really embarrassing, but y'all know Skillet?
Mhm.
He had
I
like
love
the
Skillet.
Comatose Comes Alive
Sorry,
CD
no
in
joke,
his car.
love Skillet.
And I always think of the guy who's just like, who's ready to play some rock and roll?
Man, that's how we're gonna open our next show. Who's here for some rock and roll?
But anyway, with the Phil Winter's Live thing, like we played that one show, and like we had played one more show. Like right after Farron found out she had the nodes, we had a show actually booked at the time at our house. So we used to run a house venue. Me and Camden did called Hollywood.
Yeah, I wanted to go into that.
Hollywood.
too.
And
We have one
we'll
more
get into
show
that
then.
later, I guess. But we had one show after Farron's Nodes. We just got our friend Madison Mitchell, who we mentioned earlier, to fill in for us, and that was fun. And then after that, we did Phil Winter's Lie, which, funny enough, Farron, that was like right when she was starting to kind of get her voice back. She
Yeah.
actually played.
Two
did
songs.
We play Milan?
We played Milan Rouge and Mansu.
Yeah, like spur of the
during
moment.
that
We were like,
set,
well,
yeah.
if you want, like, if you're like feeling strong and comfortable, you can like come up and play a couple songs.
yeah.
So I mean, it really was Roam Zoetta.
Right,
Essentially
it's just-
was.
That's cool.
We had two
I saw that it
songs.
had like everybody in Roam Zoetta.
Yeah,
So I was
Except
wondering,
for
yeah.
the
It
singer.
was
Yeah.
excluding Farron, but she still
We
performed
did play
with
two
us.
songs we've never that
Yeah.
aren't Roam Zoetta songs.
Right, we played two songs that were exclusive.
So when's the
And,
EP coming out?
Good question.
One of the songs that we had written and played as just as a Fell Winter's Lie song, we are wanting to rework as
Yeah.
a Roam Zoetta song.
Oh,
And we also played a cover that night.
Yeah, we played a cover from They're Only Chasing Safety by Under Oath. I'm pretty sure it was I Don't Feel Very Receptive Today.
I think that's the song. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
that
love
album
that
I know
song.
very well musically. I
Yeah.
just don't know the track names very
So
well
even
because I
like
used
a
to.
full
Did
sentence.
you guys do the Paramore cover at your EP release show?
Yes,
we did. Yeah.
Well, just for because you were playing at the end, or
Actually,
No,
we have a history of playing Misery
Oh, okay.
Business. Yeah,
okay.
Except not with me.
except for
Oh, yeah.
we
I
kind
kind
of
of refuse.
It only
Shots
started.
fired.
Yeah.
basically.
I am like the
Beef.
biggest.
Yeah.
No, I am the biggest Paramore stan.
Why do you hate Haley
I
Williams,
have shut up. I have seen
Yeah.
them 4 times.
That's my wife, man.
But
I'm gonna
like,
send this clip to Haley
good.
Williams.
Good. I've met her.
I'll tell her later.
In my oh yeah, that's your wife. In my solo project, I have covered Paramore, and it's always ill received by the crowd. And so I told them I am not covering Paramore
But
so
we've
long as I'm in
never.
Roam Zoetta.
It's never been ill
We've always
received
had
for us.
great
yeah.
responses from it though.
Yeah.
Just play it at the end because like how you open with it is like
Right,
you know, they
it's
play
fun.
there.
Like we probably won't play it again, to be honest, or we might. Like, but it's really up to Callie, honestly. Like, I mean, we don't.
It's not like we
I
really
am
want to or need to. It was.
We
It
don't-
all started because.
We all love Paramore.
yeah.
Yeah.
And because it was like one of the only songs we all knew whenever we were
It's
first
easy.
starting.
yeah.
So we were like,
Yeah.
let's just play Misery Business because Farron knew it.
Yeah, when
she
we
could
first
sing
met
it,
Farron.
and
She did well.
Shane knew how to play it on drums, and me and Camden like just figured out how to play it on
It's easy to
guitar.
learn.
And, yeah.
So it was like one of the first things we ever jammed as a band before
Oh,
we
my
like,
audition
wrote
song.
songs. Yeah, Shane's audition song, basically.
Which Shane also loves Paramore too. I mean, Haley Williams is his wife, so
Obviously.
Yeah.
No, Haley Williams is my wife.
I dare you.
We will fight.
I
We
thought
will
this
rock,
was
paper,
consensual.
Decided
It's
by
an
chance.
open marriage.
yeah. I wanted to go into your guys' writing process because
So do I.
it's a
That's, yeah.
I'd love to figure it out.
you have a kind of unique situation because you guys will pick up guitar every now
Yeah.
and then. So like how
Not
does
every song has 2 guitars.
Yeah,
Some do,
that's true.
some have 1 guitar.
yeah.
I would say like all of us individually come from a place of writing music individually,
Mhm.
like alone. Or maybe not Shane. Like Shane's been
I play the drums.
he plays the he doesn't
I gotta have something to play.
right, yeah. Like, I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is none of us are experienced in, except for Jeremy. None of us, excluding Jeremy, are really that experienced in like writing as a group, like getting together and being like, okay, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna jam until we come up with something. Like Jeremy, like in a lot of projects, I've been led to believe he's done that before, and we'll jam too. Like me and Jeremy jam whenever we have practice, or we try to a little bit, but we haven't really like gotten into a writing groove yet, I would say. It's more or less just been like me writing music and then everything else just being filled out. I mean, we will. I mean, like, it's not only that. Like, I'll write stuff and then I'll bring it to them, and they'll be like, "What if we did this or that?" You know. But it's just the way our schedules work. We don't really have. That was a great time.
My apologies.
We just don't really have a lot of time to like all get together and just like work on writing. I want to do that in the future, though. Yeah. And I'd say our most collaborative songs are have probably been Persephone, which is the new song.
Yeah, our next single was started by Jeremy.
Yeah.
Which, he created the beginning riff, which started the whole writing process.
Which no one has ever heard yet, so
that was just made up. Just messing around, playing around one day, and then I liked the way it sounded, so I kept it, and then I don't know, a few months later, I guess, I showed it to you guys.
Yeah, like, that's a lot of the way our writing process works. Like, one of us will come up with something cool, and we'll be like, hey, what if we did this? And, I don't know, a lot of the times it's Camden, too, like, trying to, like, get me to, like, have a specific vision for a song, because me, as a writer, like, I will come up with, like, riffs and stuff on guitar, and sometimes I'll have like whole songs fleshed out and it'll just kind of come together, but a lot of times it'll just be things that I think sound cool.
Ideas, yeah.
And it's hard for me to like actually like think, what do I want out of like this song? You know what I mean? Like, where do I want the finished product to be?
It's so easy to like start a riff, but trying to do an entire song, it just
like, it
takes the fun out of it. It's way more fun to be like, this sounds awesome and it's 10 seconds long. You know, check this out. But then when you try to do it,
like, I never know to like start something and like, I'm going for this type of song. Should I write everything for this type of song, or should I like, I have this riff, should I like let this song
I think if it were to become easy, then yeah. But I think that a good way to do it, like where I would like to be in the future writing wise, is to be able to basically do what we're doing and all come up with things, you know, like that we think sound good.
Bring stuff to the table.
Be able to bring it to a full band practice and be like, let's just like, you know, jam this for a little while and see if any good material comes out of it. Yeah. And one thing that I want to try too is also like recording our practices. We've never really tried that before.
I think that's a good idea.
I've
talked about that too.
Especially if like you're getting together to write.
Makes me
because of our hectic schedule.
Only you will see it, so it's okay. Unless it's really good, then you can post it online.
Yeah, that would be pretty brave actually as a band, like posting live streams of writing.
I would nitty-gritty.
Yeah, you kind of. Because like a lot of times when you see a band, like you're seeing something that's rehearsed like a million times.
You don't really see the background stuff too much.
That's what in all like that can kind of inhibit your own creativity in a way because you can kind of like doubt yourself and be like, well, I don't want to like try to go out of the box or try to move into new territory because then I'm going to sound like I'm not proficient. It's just you kind of have to get over the like thinking you're at a certain level and you just have to like, you know,
for sure,
do whatever comes naturally, I guess. I don't know. We as a band we definitely like have a long way to go as far as writing goes.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I do a lot of stuff remotely for the writing. Oh, hi.
Wow. Damn, I'm sorry.
Rude. You're fired.
What a vibe. I do a lot of writing with Camden separately from the instrumentation. So since I've joined and we've been working on lyrics for new songs and stuff, I do a lot of that entirely on my own. And then I send things, I send voice memos, like we do a lot of back and forth like that with the writing process, but like Landon said, it's not really usually in the same room that we put it all together or start that way. It's usually Camden and I will sit down at my house and do writing like with lyrics, or I'll be at home alone doing melodies and stuff like that, and then we add it to the instrumentation and the stuff that's already been written. But in the future, I would also like to just kind of do it more of an improv-y type of thing, where we're all in the same room collaborating together.
Yeah, I would love to try that as well. I mean, And then there's also a place as well for the individual, like, part of it. Like, obviously, if you aren't, like, doing anything, like, by yourself alone, then, you know, like, or at least thinking about it, like, Shane doesn't even, like, have the capability to, like, play drums at his current house. But, like,
kids at our house.
Yeah. But even, like, thinking about things, you know,
right.
like, that helps a lot, too. Like, sometimes that almost helps more, because whenever you pick up your instrument, a lot of times it's just, you know, muscle memory.
I try to come with somewhat of a plan and see if it works or not. But I think my part of the band of writing is more of the structure kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember when we were writing Beauty, like, he sent me his guitar demo. Like, usually I get the guitar demo from him, and it gives something like a riffs, and I'll kind of, like, section it out. And I'd be like, I try to, like, make it so it's kind of like a ebb and flow kind of, like, peak and valley kind of thing, so make it more of a song structure.
Nice.
We don't really typically write like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus out. We do like kind of like section.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make each section like make sense, you know?
It's prog.
So I remember when we were writing Beauty, we had like 9 different parts of the song. We were like trying to piece
the
them
initial
together.
demo of Beauty was really weird. Like, that's usually the way it works, because you know, when I'm writing something by myself as a guitar player, I'm like, I struggle more to think about what everything else is doing. So I'm like, well, let's fill everything with, you know, complicated, like, fun stuff on guitar, you know?
That's true.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, of course.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. We were just like, leads here.
Yeah,
You know?
and you're way more of a shredder than I am. So, like, so with, like, us, like, with me being the only guitar player, like, a lot of times, like,
Even when
Just-
there's 2
it's-
guitars, he is the only guitar player.
Right. Yeah,
Realistically.
I mean, yeah.
That's fair.
The only
Realistically
serious
true.
guitar player.
My hardest thing when I'm coming up with vocal melodies to sing is not singing Landon's part. Like, he writes
That's
these
good. That means that you write, awesome
No, he
melodies.
writes these beautiful melodic guitar parts.
For sure, yeah.
And in our most recent song that we've been writing together, I have really tried to discipline myself in not following the riff exactly, melodically and vocally. And that's like something really challenging for me, but I welcome the challenge, obviously. But when I'm writing, I'm trying to push myself to not follow the guitars at all.
When
because
writing
you
over
want it to
heavier
stand
shit
out.
is probably difficult, like melody-wise. And
It's hard. I don't want to end up just circling around the same 3 notes. You know, I want to write the way that Farron wrote, in which case, like, using my entire range, but because Landon has a very specific style, it can be difficult to find notes outside of the already existing riffs. But
it's
fun.
tough, man. But it is, It's all that trial
I
and
have the
error.
same problem sometimes.
Do you really?
Yeah, going to bass.
I mean, Shane has the same problems, too.
I want to hear
I
it.
tell them all the time, like, I don't, because as a bassist, I feel like a lot of bassists are covered up by a rhythm guitarist, or like they're stuck in the back and like you don't really hear the part that much. Like you might hear it, but you don't ever notice it.
Yeah, we
And,
don't want that.
Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, we
just
wanna
never how
feel
I'd
it.
like to play. You know, what made me get into bass was feeling the bass at a
Yeah.
show. You know, and like that
feel
being
that
the
shit.
thing that I moved to and stuff like that. So, like trying to come up with a different, like even a slightly different melody or something that like is the same part that he's playing but not to a T, you know, stuff like that. And not just root notes, you know. That's the big
Yeah,
thing,
that's just
you know?
Not just following the song.
Honestly, like, that's like having Jeremy as a bass player is what makes like only having one guitar like work.
Yeah, for sure.
Because without that, I mean, it would still work. It just wouldn't be.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean, both
it
of
would
you
be
guys
kinda
together,
lame.
it's a really cool dynamic. Because obviously, I guess not obviously to people, you're very, Tool influenced with how that goes.
definitely.
And then I get a lot of like Dance Gavin Dance, style with that.
We
and so
love
follow Troy.
Swancore.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Swancore.
Although not try, we don't like want to be Swancore.
Right.
No.
Because Swancore is like
No,
kind of
not at
like overrated now.
Yeah.
Nobody
It's
say
like-
that to me.
I never wanted to be Swancore.
Yeah, like obviously, yes.
We don't want to be that, but we would, be remiss without mentioning it is an influence. At least in personal listening.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us also have a lot of different influences, which helps
Yeah,
a lot
for sure.
with the like collective at the end.
That's what I think is cool, just listening, because bass is more pronounced in your guys' music, which is awesome because you don't hear that a lot. Plus having these really melodic, single guitar things going on. The female vocalist, screams, drums, shouting everybody out. But you know what I mean?
As a photographer.
But it's a cool dynamic.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
I'm gonna lock that for it though.
I am really excited to hear. That's what I want to go into next. Just new shit coming out. I'm excited to hear a track with you on it
My
because I haven't got to see you live yet.
It's different, right? But like,
Right.
It's different because it's a different voice.
it's different. It's a different voice.
Different voices are always different.
Yeah, thanks. Made me feel so much better. I was a little bit self-conscious at the beginning of this because I had put an expectation on myself to sound just like the old lead singer, but we have very different timbres, very different colors. Gonna nerd out for a second with the lingo. We just have very different voices, to put it bluntly, and so I was very nervous at the start with sort of giving myself permission to shine through in my own way, because I was like, oh, I have to sound exactly like the recordings already, like I have to sound like this EP. But with the new stuff that we've been working on, it's given me an opportunity to be like, oh, hey, this is what my voice can do.
Right.
And even with our recent show, we played a house show earlier this month, and like every time that we rehearse together, I do switch up melodies the way that my voice is capable, and so it's really fun that in the new stuff we're writing together, I get to do that completely from scratch instead of just switching up what we've already written, what they have already written.
Yeah. When do you think you're gonna have a new single out?
Sometime in the spring this next year, hopefully.
We haven't started recording yet, but we're looking to start recording sometime
in the next
month.
Yeah, we want to track stuff pretty soon. Have the song hopefully like in the next few months done, and then December's coming up soon. Probably after the new year, we'll maybe look into starting to work on a music video for it. So sometime in the spring.
And we are
roughly
writing as well.
This song's been done essentially for a while.
This song has been basically completed for a year. Basically.
As things go.
It's last winter when we were working
We've
on it.
added additional tweaks, kind of just to give it more flavor,
Things always evolve.
Things always evolve.
Especially with this song being started by another singer, and then
and then Kelly,
where we are now with Kelly, things are naturally going to change a little bit. But we're also writing new stuff and working on writing for whatever the next release will be, which hopefully after the single we're planning on trying to actually do a full length album.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about that, the streaming era, and do you still feel like albums are?
So when it comes, we basically all know that when it comes to pure efficiency and the smart thing to do, it's basically never smart to release an album.
It sucks because it's what we grew up with.
Right,
and
that's precisely why we're doing it too.
It's more from
I'm the same way. It's I want to go single release and everything, but there's just something about an album, and especially in metal, I feel like within our genre, we grew up listening to full albums, whereas pop music, they didn't do that.
You listen to singles.
Yeah. You would listen to whatever is, popular at the time.
You would listen to radio edits of singles that were being expertly curated.
Yeah. But when you found a band within, metal and rock and everything, you would just put on the album and listen to it. And that's one thing I think that we're kind of that's what I mean. I think that a lot of people still do that in metal, and I think that we're kind of lucky in that regard, because if we release an album,
it's still gonna get listened.
People will listen to it because of just the genre.
See, I think even outside of just metal, if you check out a band and you want to hear more, if you just get a single, it's oh, that's pretty cool, but you want more music. So
I just don't know how many people are I do that. When Demi released her last album.
Shout out.
Is that funny? I binged that album so hard.
It's not
I loved it.
necessarily funny,
Fantastic.
but it was unexpected.
Oh, this
Surprising.
whole band loves Demi.
Yeah, we.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm still looking for another pop punk record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, our boy,
I'm gonna witness.
our boy Jeremy, he's about to come out with, it's called Only Liars, and
Yep.
it's just phenomenal.
Literally
pop
our
punk.
last podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that
actually,
come up. I can't remember. Someone referred me. I liked them on Facebook, and I can't remember who referred me to them. It was like last week.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just switched it over and everything. So, but it's pop punk and it's great.
It is definitely probably one of the best songs I've heard from him. The newest
Wow.
release.
Yeah.
Even though he said it, but I think it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
actually,
out.
my girlfriend knows someone from that band. I can't remember who she said. she
She's
knows.
probably the one who told me.
Yeah, she
about
was the
it.
one who
That's
told
She's
why-
probably
me
the one
about
who
it.
invited
That
me.
It's
isn't
probably Jeremy, 'cause-
That isn't Jeremy?
It's probably got to be Jeremy
It
because
has to
he's
be.
the one from Nashville, and then because they're not a band, they're a internet band. You know, they all send stuff.
Oh, they're a
I
band.
didn't
They're a
realize.
band.
Well, they're a band, but it's
That's all.
But
A
they're
lot
not
of
in the
bands
same
work that way
place.
now.
Yeah,
Playing
yeah,
shows
Mississippi,
locally.
and
There's not a
they're not gonna
local-
play
Oh, there's some
shows.
from
Yeah.
Mississippi in that band?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's from
That's where me and Landon met in high
Biloxi.
school.
Oh, Biloxi.
Oh, I love Biloxi.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm from Vicksburg, Mississippi, so
Close to where
which
my
is
dad lives.
a little bit further from Biloxi. It's not on the coast, but your dad lives where?
Oh no, actually, he does. He lives.
Lives nowhere.
He doesn't live anywhere. Just
I don't have a dad.
he does live in Mississippi, but I was mistaken. It's not close to Biloxi because Biloxi is near the beach, isn't
on
it?
the coast. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
I've
Yeah.
been there.
I know. There's so many casinos,
My knowledge
yeah,
is
that's the beauty
so much
of it.
pollution, and dead sea
nice.
sea turtles.
Yeah.
Hey, shut your mouth. I'm gonna cry.
So good.
One. Back on topic. please.
Yeah, so
Divulged.
another thing, or besides like us all kind of liking albums and stuff, I feel like it makes a lot of sense for our style too with the way we write songs because we're very dynamic in like from song to song. It's very different.
Oh, it's so different.
Like on the EP, there's 5 songs, and I feel like there's like 3 different completely sounding styles
I was
within
gonna
that.
say, there's almost 3 different genres within
Right.
Yeah.
the overarching post-hardcore kind of sound.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like everything's kind of filtered through what, your sound, but there's the influences from other.
When you
Yeah.
put it on an album, it doesn't sound so spread out.
Yeah,
Right,
there's
right.
more
You
room
release them one at
to,
a
like-
time, and it's like, what's going on? And
Yeah.
we change the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I still feel like that's kind of weird about our EP, the fact that some of the songs are so different in such a short period of
I
time.
think that's good, man.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
I think that's
no,
what-
that's the thing. We don't want to stop
Man,
doing
that's-
it.
Yeah.
Right,
Like-
yeah. I'm not gonna I'm personally as a writer never gonna put a filter on anything I do. There's no, as much as it pains me to say this, there's no deciding what I
There's
write.
no deciding sound.
It's just whatever I feel is gonna come out.
That's the way it should be.
It's just the
man.
way it happens
That's-
for
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
personally.
So, yeah.
It's not like
I think
that
that's
for
the way.
everyone.
I feel music is going kind of that way of just being able to enjoy other music without. It's
Yeah.
just it all goes back to accepting everything. We're talking about
Yeah.
women being in music now, and that's cool. It's
Fuck yeah.
I just mean it's
women
fine
can
to
do
like
everything.
so
They
many
can even
different
play
things
bass
now.
or-
Call me old fashioned.
Yeah.
I just mean it's cool to like other things now. You don't have to just be like, I like metal. We are metal.
Oh yeah,
You know?
for sure. I love
Right.
almost every kind of music
Yeah.
imaginable, other than country. Country music is the one thing that I wouldn't
Dude,
touch.
I'm
with
sure
a
I'm
10-foot
like
pole.
Zach
I was like, you like Zach Brown, but that's it.
I used to be a
Zach Brown's
country
barely
hater.
country, though.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I guess there's some
Used to be a
individuals
country hater.
in the
but
country community. Sorry.
Kind of on the same page now. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I grew up
like-
listening to country music from my mom, and I definitely never listen to country music now, but I can appreciate plenty of artists.
There's certain things.
Yeah, man.
There are tons of
Exactly.
amazing musicians. that
Yeah,
play
and there's
country
some other I feel like a lot of other genres get grouped in with country that aren't truly country,
Right.
like bluegrass and
Oh, bluegrass.
things
I
like
fucking
that.
love
like
bluegrass.
Southern Gothic rock.
or like Southern gospel too, and stuff
Shout
like
out
that. Like
Civil War.
Southern.
or stuff like that. That's not truly country. Like when I say I hate country, I just mean I hate like
Bro
Florida Georgia
country.
Line,
Like pop country.
Yeah.
Pop
and
country.
Taylor
Bro
Swift
country.
country.
So if you go back to
The fake
Wagon
country
wheel.
I always talk about like
with the fake country accent.
Yeah.
I was talking about
And I hate
Hank Jr.
East
How do you feel about
Nashville
Mason Ramsey?
Southern country hipsters too.
Basically.
Ooh.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Say it
If you're
again.
in East Nashville and you're wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots right now,
Dude.
fuck you.
You just called out like 20% of my friend group.
I talk about that a lot too, though, because I grew up in an actual
Sorry.
country town, and it's funny to see
Yeah.
like the.
The last podcast.
It's cool to like I have boots and a hat, but like
Never
I
seen
would
the mud.
I would never never fucking touch a cow. You're like,
I'm vegan.
Hey.
No ranching. though.
I'm an impossible boy.
Cowboy.
yeah.
Well, going back
It's a good
to
band name.
going back to
Vegan
hey,
cowboy.
we're gonna
Pretty sure it is.
Roping
rein
it in.
Reel it back.
Oh.
in.
just like a cattle, we're roping it back
That's
in.
right.
Come on now, a cattle, Jesus. Okay.
A cow.
Anyway,
moose.
one of the really cool things for me personally about writing with a group like Roam Zoetta, speaking of like the boundary shifting kind of songwriting and how we're not sticking within specific borders of genres, is that's very similar to how I write my solo project stuff. A lot of people ask me, hey, what genre like would you consider yourself? And I don't have a fucking
Yeah,
clue.
genres are stupid.
Like genres are just
They are,
weird
yeah.
boundaries to me anyway. I've
Yeah.
never been completely solidified on any one genre in my solo project, and so the fact that I even still get to remain true to my own writing process within this particular genre. I mean, we call ourselves melodic post-hardcore, but that means different things to a lot of different
Right.
people. And
sure.
so I feel very at home with this group writing, because even in my solo work, it's kind of genre defying, you know, there's just like a lot of blend between a lot of different genres. And so I think that's a really cool thing that we get to do as well because of all of our influences from multiple different bands.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call us like a metal band or a heavy band
Right.
at all. Like we have Camden like yelling and screaming and stuff, but that's
We
like the
have
most
heavy
aggressive
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing about our band, really.
Yeah.
Like,
There's plenty of very not heavy
Yeah,
parts
true.
in our
Oh, yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Even our
Definitely,
heaviest songs have
yeah.
slow parts.
We're one of the like the in between bands where it's like if we're on an actual hardcore bill, we're like by far the lightest band. But on any other bill,
On, like,
it's
a
like we're
rock
the
bill,
heaviest
you're heavy,
band.
yeah.
I think that's one of
Totally.
our hardest like parts of like playing what we played.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
like getting on a good
I feel
like
that.
bill. Like we could be on a good bill, but the bill like itself is like
It's still a mix.
we're
of
either
bill.
not heavy enough for the bill or like people that don't listen to any screaming in songs, as soon as there's any screaming, they're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
I don't understand you.
My own
Why is he so
parents had that
angry?
a little bit.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
yeah, same.
We played a really cool show back in October.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were on like the Nashville locals for Rarity, Never Kept, and Capstan, and then we had another local band with us, Swan. They're really cool too. But that you could hear the defining differences in all of the acts. Like Jeremy said, like we were almost too heavy for some of those bands, but like still not quite heavy enough to have been on any other type of show. It just really
Yeah.
depends.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
We talked about that at the Halloween party.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I get that for sure. Because what we usually do if we play with a heavier band, we just scream. Huff just screams the whole time instead of
Oh,
like
really?
singing.
Yeah.
It's just instead of singing.
Tune down.
Yeah.
Everything
Three
is just-
steps.
That's my attitude.
Yeah, no, you have a really good singer for sure. Like, that's the thing too. Like with you all stuff, like you have some screaming, but it is I feel like your instrumentation make you feel kind of like a metalcore band, but it's like I don't know. I feel like you all are in that middle kind of genre area too.
Yeah. Our next shit is it's like you said, vastly different. One's very pop influenced because I was listening to a lot of Demi. and then one's in like we tuned out to like drop A sharp and it's heavy. So like it's just gonna be completely different, but
I want it to be so low that I can't even tell what I'm
I got a fucking I got an 8-string and I'm gonna bust it.
I got a
I want to
fucking
shit my
8-string.
pants.
Yeah.
That brown note.
Yeah.
brown nose.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're flashing.
We're about there.
Yeah.
That was a fast one.
I know that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, yeah.
you for
Thanks for
having us.
asking us on.
Seriously, it's
Yeah.
cool. Have you
been
back
fun.
when the new shit comes out? We'll get you
Oh,
back.
hell
We
yeah.
would love that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So spring, you said it on the podcast, so it's got to come
Yep.
out. Yeah.
There's the
Stone now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're actually
literally gonna
practicing right
practice,
after
yeah.
this.
Hell yeah.
So,
yeah. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. Thanks for the
Yeah.
king of beers too.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
America.
Gang, gang.
We tried our best
Sponsor
not
us.
to pop.
We need to
into
get us.
them.
We need to get a sponsor on the podcast.
Budweiser
Yeah.
sponsor.
I don't
That'd
need
be
paid. I
sick.
just need alcohol.
Can we get like one of the local breweries, like Jackalope or something?
Yeah. Well, there's one brewery that I saw at the Science Center. You know how they do that way late play date?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met one brewery there, and I want to do like a local show where
Yeah,
there's
a whole
a bunch of local
brewery.
bands, and then get a local brewery to sponsor.
That would be so
That'd be
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
So yeah, look forward to that.
Budweiser.
Fuck yeah. All right, Archive 28. We out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Dude.
When you gotta fill in a syllable.
Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for notifications. If you want to take it a step further, we got a Patreon page. Help videos like this keep coming. Thanks, guys.